All right, halfway house, Friday night. Mopar madness on a diet, so we got the black cherry. It's pretty fucking good. Oh, mama. So, I want to talk about Mopar 4-speeds, which I'm surprised there's not really a video helping you ID these fucking things. And I will share with you my limited knowledge on how to figure out, like, you go to swap meet, like, you don't know what the fuck these are. I don't know what the fuck these are, but I'm going to tell you what I've learned in the last, couple years, my limited knowledge. So we'll start with this one. First of all, I know this is out of a 67 Dart GT. So I guess we'll start at the front. So, small bearing retainer. Small bearing retainer. Big bearing retainer. So this is non-overdrive, non-overdrive, overdrive. So that's a pretty dead giveaway on what the fuck you're looking at. So we'll move to the side cover next. No line in between. No line in between. Line in between. So we have 70 and earlier, 70 and earlier, 71 and newer. Pretty easy giveaway. We'll go to the tail shaft housing next. We got shorter shaft, or shorter tail shaft housing, and two long ones. Notice the mounting. This one's about midway between, this one's forward, this one's forward, that one's rear. This is A body, believe it or not. This is B body. You would think the bigger cars would be further back, but they're not. B body, forward mounted, rear mounted. E body, and somebody told me this is possibly C body. I'm not positive on that, so we'll go more into that later. So this confirms that this is an A body early one. Small bearing retainer, non-overdrive, doesn't have the deal between them like that one does, and A body tail shaft, A body mounting. Cool, we know exactly what the fuck this is. Well, we'll go to this one. So, small bearing retainer. So it's non-overdrive, no deal between them, right? 70 and earlier. Front mounted shifter. That's B body. But then we have a ball and trunnion output. So that is 66 and earlier. So we know this is a 66 and earlier B body, non-overdrive, right? Which everything confirms that. To this one. Big bearing retainer, right? Overdrive, but it's all cast iron, which apparently they only made in 1975. Look at this date tag, 1975. So, because most of the overdrives were, they had aluminum. This one is all cast iron. So this is a 1975 only overdrive B body, which they didn't make an E body, so I was told this is actually C body on these. I'm not positive on that, but so I was told. So that's about the extent of my knowledge on the 4-speeds. So just to recap, small bearing, big bearing, overdrive, non-overdrive, small bearing, non-overdrive, 71 and later cover, 70 and earlier cover, 70 and earlier cover, B body shifter, B body shifter, E body, possibly C body shifter. Ball and trunnion, 66 and earlier. The rest, 67 and later. Short tail shaft housing and the mid mounting is A body. And that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge on these. Go through a 3-speed. The little that I know about a 3-speed. What these are called 240, A240 or whatever the fuck these are. Small block bell housing, dual pattern. Notice the pattern is different on these, so it's a little bit smaller. So okay, this is a 3-speed, and it only has 2 shift levers. Obviously, these all have 3. That's really the easiest giveaway for me, is the bottom one, obviously. So I guess these are dual pattern small block bell housings, so they fit 3-speed or 4-speed. Thank God, because I need that. This is also a small block. What did this come out of? This came out of a B body, actually, but it appears to be the exact same. Never mind the GM Super T10, but that's a B body, 66 or 67. Or that's what it came out of. I don't know for sure what it is. This is out of a 71 Scamp. 71 Scamp. That's actually what that motor's out of. So there's a bunch more differences, and I'm sure all y'all know more than I do. But I think they started stamping the VINs in 68 or 69. So this one should have a VIN on it somewhere. I guess I could really dig. But I know it's a B-body because that was the shifter that came with it. And it's got the short rod, so obviously it's a B-body. So that's really all I need to know. Yeah. And like I said, I know where this one came from. This one I know is a B-body, and it's a pre-67, so that's all I really need to know. Yeah, so I'm surprised there's not more videos out there, because what I just told you in 5 minutes, it'll take you 5 hours to figure out online, because they'll go through every nut and bolt and fucking, difference between the two, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like, basically, everything I just told you now, if you went to a swap meet and you found these three, you could pretty much ID them with just what I told you now. It's pretty simple. So yeah, there's that. I bought these two for fucking cheap. Dude told me they were both seized. I pulled the covers off, and they're fucking tits. Took about 13 seconds with PB Blaster, and I had to pry this cover off because it was, I don't know if you can really tell, but a little rust, but honestly, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't ride on it. So, 5 seconds of PB Blaster and unbolted it, and it seriously slid right off, and then it spun free. So that's a score. This one had all the bolts in it on the cover, so it was all nice and sealed up. And all that shit that looks like rust, most of it's just PB Blaster, and it wipes off with your hand. But turns over super good. The synchros look tits. The bearings sound halfway decent. It's got a nice, I don't know, some sort of beer case gasket, so it's good. Probably had some beer in it, but kept it from rusting anywhere. Yeah, so these are scores. I'll buy all these, but I'd like to rebuild all these and then probably sell them, or trade for a good A-body, because this one does need an output shaft. It's bent. I don't know if you can see it. This motherfucker's bent. But anyway, that's the extent of my knowledge on Mopar manual transmissions. I wish I had an MB435 here, and I'd go through that one too, because I've had a fuck ton of those. But I haven't had any in a couple years, so that's all I know. 3-speed, 4-speed, 833. Good transmissions, obviously beefy as fuck. And it's funny because it makes the Super T10 look pretty fucking puny, which is also a great transmission. Probably the best shifting transmission, but these motherfuckers are a little bit tougher. And they're Mopar, so they'll cost you a nutsack and a fucking, whatever. They're expensive. So try to get all these rebuilt and into the hands of people that will put them to use. So now you know everything there is to know about 4-speeds. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this shit, but that's, like I said, I'm not an expert, but that's all I know. I'm gonna finish my what do we got? Black cherry. And I will see y'all later.